Well, this is going to be fun. I love theater, and I know that you all who listen to my show must love theater because we have so many theaters we talk about. There's one thing about watching television, and it's okay, but there's nothing like being in a seat. The lights go down, and the stage curtain opens up, and there's live theater. And so, to tell us all about what's happening at Lake Worth Playhouse for the 2014-15 season is none other than Shonna Rash, who is the Education and Outreach Director for the Lake Worth Playhouse. So, hello, Shonna.
Hello.
Thank you so much for telling our audience about what you do. It's a very special kind of a theater. I know it's right there in the heart of Lake Worth. I have been there. You have now. It's grown up. For years ago, there weren't a lot of restaurants. It was pretty much the theater was there and a few things, but now it's a place to be.
It definitely is, and thank you for having me. It's a beautiful facility that we have. We hold about 300 folks in our theater and our main stage. We also have the Stonzik Theater, which is next door, and we have a black box series that's happening this season as well.
Wait, excuse me, what does that mean?
What the black box series? Well, what we have, our Stonzik Theater is basically where we show independent films and sometimes foreign films, and in that space, it's actually a theater that we transform into a live theater as well. So right now we have opening on Friday a play called Search and Destroy, and it has a cast of approximately 8 people, and we put them right there, and it's very intimate, it's very close, and you're almost right there in the action with them.
Is it a murder mystery?
There is a mystery involved, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No spoilers here.
Okay, we're not going to do that. But so my next question is, I'm just going to run down. I want you to run down. We won't describe the shows yet, but just tell us what the theater, what the programs are going to be for this season.
Oh, we have an absolutely spectacular season that we're very excited about. We open up our first show with Mame, the musical, based on the novel by Patrick Dennis, and the play Anti-Mame, most people might be familiar with.
Rosalind Russell, right?
Rosalind Russell was in Anti-Mame, yes. And the musical version opened on Broadway back in the day with no other than Angela Lansbury as Mame and B. Arthur as her sidekick and best bosom buddy, B. Arthur.
It was kind of a wild theme at that time, wasn't it? I mean,
it absolutely was. And it does take place over a span of about 20 years. And so we're trying to recreate that right on stage. And it's right now we're in rehearsals for that, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, what's next?
The next up will be Neil Simon's The Odd Couple. And everybody's familiar with
absolutely one of my favorites. I mean, so many marriages, they could put themselves in that odd couple perspective, couldn't they?
Absolutely. That's a good way to look at it, yes. Yes.
The neat Nick, and the other one. And oh my gosh, I love that. And as many times as I've seen it, I will see it again because you just don't get tired of it.
Great, yes. No, you can't get tired of that one. And, there's always an actor to bring new life to these characters, so we're excited about that one as well. And then after that, we have the Rodgers and Hammerstein South Pacific.
So, you think about that. There was a South Pacific, and that's what makes this so exciting. People really lived in that era and that life, and they made a great show out of it. That took brilliance, didn't it?
I think so, yes. Love creative people.
Gonna wash that man right out of my hair, right?
That's right. Oh, you know your theater. That's great.
I do, but you're choosing all the very best. How can you not know it?
Oh, yeah, you're right. And we, again, this is a really fun season. We're excited. And after South Pacific, we're going to have Arsenic and Old Lace.
Now, that was really, that classic movie.
Wasn't
it something?
Oh, Yes, so we're excited to bring that to life on stage as well.
I wonder how many people, after they saw that, oh, I hate to say this, use arsenic to get rid of people. Oh, gosh, I never thought of arsenic, but that's, I guess that was something, just a little bit of that, right?
Oh yeah, I think so. Well, we have all kinds of criminal stories on television nowadays, so that was a good start.
It's early, right? I don't think they're using arsenic, though. I think they use other kinds. Maybe they overdose people, but arsenic is so easy. I guess it doesn't taste. I have no idea. I've never tasted arsenic, and yet.
Well, I'm glad for that.
No, but wait. Someone said, I don't know if it's Botox. Something has arsenic in it, but a very minimal amount that's not toxic.
Oh.
I don't know what it is.
I'm sure we're getting that in everything we consume.
Yeah.
All kinds of different poisons.
Right. Okay, so I'm working right here with you now. The next one. Oh my gosh.
Yes, you know what's going on. Cabaret.
Oh, I can just hear Joel Grey.
Cabaret, and we'll have a live orchestra with that one, and we're very excited.
Oh, what a show that was. I mean, Eliza Minnelli and made it so famous, and it really was, it was a little scary there for a while because it did talk about things that were so bad. I don't even know when it first came out. Do you? When it first came out, it was during the, it came out after the period that it was set in, but right.
It was certainly very poignant for its time, and all of our shows really are a reflection of the history and just the kind of racism and ethnicism and all these things all wrapped into everything, and how that social climate really affected our culture today. And so I think every one of our shows have a pretty good substance and a purpose.
It's a good takeaway. It's a good takeaway for people to remember. I don't know your artistic director yet, but I'll bet he's the one that chooses the plays, and he has certain soul inside that he wants to get out, doesn't he?
Yes, and our artistic director is actually a she, and her name is Jody Dixon Mears, and she is actually starring in our first musical of the season, Mame. She will be portraying the lovely Vera, and so she's bringing this character to life, and I think everybody is very excited to see her on stage. Oh. She's a wonderful artistic director, and she's a great actress. And she chooses the musicals with much heart and thought into it. And then we actually do a survey of our patrons during our shows. We put a survey and let them choose, and we actually have a vote. So it helps that our audiences are helping us pick our season.
That's very smart.
So we know what they like.
Yep, that's very smart, and that's great. And I know that I went to the Playhouse when it first really was a Playhouse, much smaller. I think it was an old movie theater, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I've been here a long time.
This theater is absolutely beautiful. It's an historic building, so everything is basically as it was, and we are one of the only places in South Florida that actually we have a basement, and that's where our dressing rooms and
you have a basement?
We have a basement.
How can you have a basement with the water sea level the way it is?
I'm baffled by it myself, but
Phantom of the Opera, maybe, huh?
Yeah, but we've been really lucky. I think that it was a little bit damaged during Hurricane Wilma, but we've been going strong ever since. And the ceiling is all wood, and it's gorgeous in here. If you haven't been, got to come check it out. We have all kinds of things going on, special events as well as our season. So it's worth taking a look at.
Okay, well,
Lake Worth.
Well, yeah, and I just want to say Lake Worth is like halfway between Boca and West Palm, and it's quite nice. They have lovely restaurants. In fact, there's something that you're going to be putting on, a dinner and a show, so that means the shows are usually, what, at 8?
Yes, our shows begin at 8 p.m. for our night shows, and we have matinee shows as well, 2 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. There are lovely restaurants, and we do a package with certain shows with the restaurants around, and you can get a dinner and a show, and it's you get a full courses at one of these fine restaurants that we partner with, and then you get a show all along with your ticket, and there's special package deals with that, and you can call the box office for details on that.
That's great. Let me give everybody a phone number. First, let me remind you, this is the Lake Worth Playhouse, the 2014-15 season. And the phone number to call is 561-586-6410. 586-6410, and the website is lakeworthplayhouse.org. lakeworthplayhouse.org. And it's really an interesting place to go. You have to support theater. You just have to, and we have some wonderful theaters now that have popped up, whether they're in Boca or they're up in Jupiter. And this is something good because it's a place to go on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They have matinees. I'm sure you have matinees on Sunday. I don't really know your schedules.
We do. We have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night at 8 p.m., and Saturday at 2 p.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m.
Good. That's great. Because, as people age, and they're the ones who really do support the theater so much, it's harder for them to drive at night. They can't see as well, and they really want this. And the other thing is there's a lot of parking in Lake Worth compared to some other places. And all the little residential streets, you don't actually... Do you have valet parking?
Absolutely, we do.
Whoa.
We have valet parking, and we also have a nice free parking lot right behind our building, and there are a couple other community parking lots that are free. So it's easy to get here, and it's easy to stop here, and we'd love to have you.
Okay, now tell me how the actors come. Now, I know that you use actors from all over, locally and even other places. How do you get them?
Yeah, we do. We're actually a volunteer basis for our actors. We are a not-for-profit theater, so we don't pay our actors, but they are of professional caliber. A lot of them have been in a lot of professional shows, but we just hold open auditions, and we put that out there to the public and announce the audition times, and we have a bunch of folks come out, and they run us through their bits, their monologues, and do some songs for us, and then we choose based on that who's ever best for the part. So we do get them from all over. We get kids, we get older adults, from 10 up to 80. So it's quite a variety, and we're very lucky that we have such a pool of talent to choose from.
Well, I have to just comment on that, which is just marvelous. I have a son who's a lawyer in Miami, and yet he's been a concert violinist. And of course, he doesn't play the violin now in orchestras, but they have a community orchestra. They rehearse on Wednesdays, and every month or sometimes twice a month, about 70, 80 musicians, they're from, whether they're college or they're professionals or they're retired, they have this fantastic Alhambra orchestra. And I was thinking about them and then thinking about you. Here are actors who want to perform. They're either retired or maybe they're doing other things, and you give them that opportunity. It's marvelous.
We do, and we love it, and we get people from all walks of life, and it's amazing. These people, they could be getting paid for it on stage somewhere, maybe on Broadway, who knows, but they might be retired or in school, and this is an opportunity for them to do that outside of their work, and so it's an amazing opportunity.
Do you ever have casting calls?
Well, yes, that's what we do when we post our auditions. We post that out to the public, and we send out email blasts, and we put posters up, and we let everybody know prior to when we start rehearsals for our upcoming shows. We post the audition notices, and we just have open auditions, and anyone can come.
My guest is such a lovely lady. Her name is Shonna Shonna Rash. She's Education and Outreach Director, and we're talking about the Lake Worth Playhouse. And you can go and visit their website, which is lakeworthplayhouse.org, lakeworthplayhouse.org. And the interesting thing about this is that these are volunteers, but they're very professional. They can't run a playhouse if they're not professional. I think the only other one I know like this isn't it Delray Playhouse?
Yes.
Yeah, their shows are great too, and they've been around for a long, long time.
Yes, they have.
So let me ask you, do you have people already chosen for all of the shows at this point?
No, but we do have upcoming auditions for The Odd Couple, and so we basically do one show at a time, and that way, if there are people, let's say we have some of our cast from MAME who want to audition for The Odd Couple, they have an opportunity to do that. So we don't choose our actors for the whole entire season. We just take them as we go.
Well,
we
love
hold
this.
auditions as we go.
Yeah, this is excellent. So, I was thinking when we were talking about The Odd Couple, wouldn't it be funny? You can mention this to your director, Jody, if you redid it with two women.
Oh yeah, I think we've thought about that too. And actually, I do believe that's been written. The Odd Couple for Women. Yes, I believe so. So, we do a little gender bending around here sometimes.
Because I was thinking,
we also have the Queens and the Divas. So if you want to see some kind of fun stuff like that, those are our special events that we have also.
Yeah, that's
so we're not
great.
Entirely tame.
No, that's good. You don't want to be tame. Well, that's fine. Now, can people rent out your theater?
They can, absolutely.
Tell us how that works.
What they would probably need to do is go to our website and find our executive director and give her an email and let her know a little bit about what you want to do, what kind of time you need. And, we have all kinds of special events and rentals coming up as well. And, it's an opportunity for other people to use our space as long as we're not booked and you have a time and a need and can provide the cost, and we provide the space. So it's a great opportunity for other people to use our facility as well.
And what is your executive director's name?
Her name is Stephanie Smith.
Okay, Stephanie Smith. So we're loaded with women here, I see.
We are.
So
we have a technical director. His name is Steve Graybill, and he's one of the men, and our development director is a man, and that is Daniel Aiello, and he's also directing our Black Box series. So we have a little bit of a mix-up there, but we're all involved in the artistic side somehow. So that's what makes it great. We mix business with our pleasure.
That sounds wonderful. Well, the thing that is very important about theater, it really does take you from your everyday mundane life, no matter how exciting it is. I know I could be very busy with lots of things, but when I go to a theater and they open that curtain, it is magic for me. I'm somewhere else. Sometimes I don't even remember the most important things I was supposed to be remembering that night while I'm watching a theater performance.
Yes, it is a great escape. It really is. And it's a nice night out. Get away from the TV.
Yeah.
And the beauty of live theater is anything can happen, too. And you get to see it happen right there. So, we always hope for the best, but you never know.
Well, you also have to respect the fact that these actors have spent a lot of time remembering those lines.
Absolutely, yes. They rehearse for several weeks, and it's hard work. And they learn choreography, and they learn music, and for the musicals, they put it all out there. So, and we actually in MAME we have two young gentlemen cast as our young Patricks. And we're double cast that, but they're 10 years old, so they go from school and stay up late to rehearse, and then have on top of their homework they have memorization to learn. So
it's really important. I think actors are Actors is funny. I've heard so many famous actors today talk about for how many years they were waiters. They did all sorts of things because they were just waiting for that good part. I mean, they had to be really dedicated to do something like that.
Yes. Yes, it's a very dedicated craft that these actors go through. And anybody that says that they're an overnight success
Right.
took many, many nights.
Right. Do you ever do you ever attend the rehearsals?
Well, actually, I'm directing MAME, and so I have attended all the rehearsals. Yes, so it's a wonderful process. It's a learning process, and you see the discoveries that the actors make and the progress, and it's such a transformation from day one, the table read through, to where we are now and getting ready to open. It's an amazing process, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Do you have a costume, I guess, a costume man or a woman who...
We take volunteers who also help us with costumes, and, we do a lot of volunteer-based people, and we have some wonderful, wonderful costumers that have helped us in the past, and some of the costumes that we rent, and it depends on the show and what we need, and so we don't have one on staff, but we do get volunteers who help us out.
And how about set design?
We do have a lovely set designer, professional. Cindy Taylor is our current one, and we do have a variety of people who will set design for us, and our sets are amazing. We really do put on great productions. We have the sets, the lights, and it's like being on Broadway.
How long have you been there with them?
I've been here approximately a little over a year.
And what did you do before this, Shonna?
Before, I've been involved in theater for the last 20 years, so kind of dating myself here, but I've been involved in all kinds of theaters in South Florida and coast to coast. I actually grew up in Idaho.
Idaho? Oh, where it's so warm.
Oh, yeah. That's why I chose to leave the land of potatoes and go where it was nice and sunny and warm. Yeah,
that's funny you should mention that. Do they really have, that's where the Idaho potatoes come from?
Yeah, we're known for it for a reason, definitely. There are a lot of potato fields out there.
So that's where you're from, and you found your way to South Florida, and is this happy for you?
Absolutely. I've been very lucky to have all kinds of opportunity to do what I love, and this is what I love, and that is theater, and also working with the kids in the outreach program and all of our different children's programs, and I'm living the dream.
Do you ever need dogs for your shows?
We do. In fact, our last summer show, we did Legally Blonde, and we had 2 dogs. And they actually got some credit in the playbill. They got to write their own bio.
Well, I have a fantastic little 8-pound Maltese, and she is the most lovely, gentle dog. So I'm just going to tell you that.
Well, I appreciate that. We will keep you in mind should we need another dog.
Right,
but never work. You know what they say? Never work with kids or dogs. Babies or dogs, they'll steal the show.
Oh, that's true. No, you're absolutely right. So it depends what it is. Okay, so now before we have to go, we're going to be doing MAME October the 9th to the 26th. We're going to be doing The Odd Couple from November the 20th to December the 7th. South Pacific from January the 15th to February 1st. And then Arsenic and Old Lace from February 26th to March the 15th. And Cabaret from April the 9th to the 26th. That is one big amount. I mean, you have really jumped high. The loop is going higher. The brass ring is going to be there at the end, but it's worth it. So it's dinner and the show, huh?
Yes.
Okay, and it's 561-586-6410, and the website is lakeworthplayhouse.org. Then we want to thank, of course, Jody Dixon, who is the artistic director, and then you said it was
Stephanie
Smith, executive director, because I know what it takes to do theater. I was involved with the Florida Rep Theater a long time ago as chairman of the board, and I have to tell you, I hardly slept a lot of nights making sure all the bills got paid, making sure that everything happened, and I just have to tell you, it was amazing. So I love theater. I will be there in the audience clapping, and I just want to thank you so much for being with us. It was really a great pleasure.
I thank you as well.
Okay.
We
Bye.
look forward to seeing you all out there.
Oh, you will. Definitely. I've got to order my tickets for the first one, Maine.
Wonderful.
All right. Thank
We'll
you.
see you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.